The Power is a 1984 horror film from director Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey Obrow. The movie opens with legs. Well, no, not legs opening. The movie, whatever. Some college students are listening to a lecture about demonology. You can take the kids out of high school, but you can't take the high school out of the kids.
And the fourth, known as Destacatl, was believed to control the dark side of the human soul.
Looks like a Mexican salt shaker.
Mr. Hopkins thinks he's a comedian, and the professor ain't having it. Uh-oh, looks like he's got the Destacatl idol. He calls upon the power of the idol to stare menacingly in 2 directions. He uses his power to give the kid a nosebleed. So his power is kind of a dollar store scanners. After class, one of the professor's colleagues confronts him. He explains how he's been able to control the power of Destacatl.
You've gone too far. You can't control it. Get out.
I guess what he's trying to say is, stay off my back, or I will attack, and you don't want that! He successfully gets Francis to leave, but then Destacatl decides it's time for the professor to go. Oh my, he's turning into Dr. Wily. Destacatl turns on the smoke machine, and Francis is trying to get back in to help his friend. Unfortunately, it's too late, and it's Impalement City. Francis asks where the idol is, and the professor tells him before he dies. Look, I'm just going to call it the idol from now on, because it's easier than saying Destacatl. Francis then takes the idol to the desert. Is wearing a full suit the best desert attire? The jeep drops him off so he can wait until nightfall. They're going to find his corpse eaten by coyotes, aren't they? They apply the day for night filter, and Francis sees a young boy. The boy leads him to a tent to meet this guy. He is amazingly not sweaty for standing in the desert all day in a suit. I'm guessing he's there to give the idol to this guy, or to... Wait, what?
Ha viajado una gran distancia.
He's there to see the idol? He didn't take it from the professor when he died? How'd this guy get it? So it seems only the innocent can keep the idol, which is why this guy has the kid around. He knows how persuasive the idol can be, and yet he still lets Francis hold it. This would be like letting Gollum hold the One Ring for a minute. In other words, a bad idea. Looks like it's made out of chocolate. Now that he's had a taste of the power, Francis offers to buy the idol. The old man refuses. Anyway, I sure hope Francis doesn't murder everyone and take the idol. Oh, who could have seen this coming? Now that he has the idol, it takes over his mind, and he starts leaking soy sauce. I guess he's dead now, too. That thing doesn't mess around. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Julie's trying to convince her friends Tommy and Matt to do something at midnight tonight.
You promised. Matt's gonna do it.
The rotisserie? That night? Oh, Tommy has the idol now? Wouldn't this thing be in an evidence locker after being discovered at the scene of a triple homicide? The gang sneaks out to a graveyard. It's scientifically proven. All graveyards have fog at night. They head to a building and nope. Playing with a Ouija board in the middle of a cemetery? You kids are just asking for terrible things to happen. They each brought an item that'll protect them. Tommy brought the idol.
My parents brought it back from the trip. It's supposed to bring good luck.
His parents picked it up while they were on vacation. How exactly were they not seduced by its power? They put their hands on the planchette. I've discovered it's called that thanks to all the comments in the Ouija board video. They mess around with the board and bad things start to happen, so they take off. The security guard hears something and goes to investigate. Stupid kids hanging around cemeteries. Oh wait, this is pretty much what the guy really says. I used to hang around in a cemetery when I was a teenager, but at least I had the courtesy of doing it during the day. Don't judge. It was the 90s, and there were goth girls involved. They really liked the craft. The guard finds a leaky pipe. That's not a real gravestone. Anyway, he checks out the pipe, and some sludge hits him in the face. He slips and falls, and oh, splat. Over at the Eyewitness newspaper, which is essentially the National Enquirer, Roxanne goes to talk to Sandy. Hey, it's Mike! This prequel to Star Slammer is weird. Over at Sandy's house, her friend Jerry's there for a visit. He gets there before she does, so he starts snooping. Nope, wasn't reading your mail.
Journalism is the pursuit of truth. I brought it to try and rekindle inspiration.
Is he aware that she works for a paper that's doing a story about the Rat Boy?
Well, wait a minute. Here's the Rat Boy story.
Back at high school...
What do you know about the supernatural?
It's this really cool show about these two brothers fighting monsters. All the other students laugh at her, but the teacher tries to answer until she's interrupted by a young Roger Thomas. Julie's classmates tease her.
Hey Julie, you don't seem to be in good spirits today.
Hey Luther, shouldn't you be destroying the Gond? Sandy and Jerry are out to lunch. They're having a serious conversation when Jerry unintentionally friend zones himself.
And we were friends first. And that's the most important thing.
Right, Jerry, that is the most important thing.
I was hoping you wouldn't agree.
So Jerry doesn't get to go out with her, and yet he still has to go see her dad, who doesn't like him. He's just having a banner day. Tommy's having a snack while he's doing his homework. Okay, this is one of those rare instances where I'd say a hot dog is a sandwich. The idol suddenly becomes magnetic. I don't know how they work either. How is a pickle magnetic? So it starts attracting everything in the room, even stuff that's not metal. He tries to leave, but everything goes all closet cases of the nerd kind on him. Kids today do not know the struggle of having your cassette player eat your favorite tape. After pooping himself, he buries the idol in the backyard. He tells Matt and Julie about it. Julie brought over a newspaper about the guard that was killed. The kids go to tell Sandy their story about what happened at the cemetery. Since Tommy's room went nuts that one night, they assumed the guard's death was because of the idol. Only how? They left and took it with them. So it can kill people at a distance? Julie goes back to get the idol, while Tommy talks about his jerk sock.
But, things were sticking to it.
Jerry, being an adult, is immediately manipulated by the idol. Sandy tells him she can't help them, but Jerry offers to look into it. Sandy is more concerned about the party they're going to tonight.
We have to get back and get ready for the party. I told Roxanne you were handsome.
So she's gonna be really mad at me. Over at the 15th anniversary of MimeCon, they cut a cake of the lead singer of Cake. Sandy brings Jerry to set him up with Roxanne. So I says to Mabel, we'll continue this later. Sandy's mad at Jerry for following up on the story about the dead guard and the idol. Jerry then sad walks around the city. He stops in a bookstore. Oh, hi, Jerry. I didn't know it was you. Hi, Kitty. You're my favorite customer. Even though the idol is completely rare, he just so happens to find a book all about it in a random bookstore. Sandy arrives home, and the idol starts digging through her music collection. Barry Manilow. All-powerful entity or jerk? She's trying to sleep when she's attacked by a bunch of arms. It's just a nightmare. She hears a noise in the other room, and which member of the crew is this? Oops.
Did you see anybody on your way up here?
Just that guy in your bedroom. They look around to see the whole place is trashed. Sandy thinks she was robbed, but Jerry tries to convince her it was something else.
Your purse, there's still money in it. There's a fork stuck in the wall, and your phone machine is melted. Nobody broke in here.
A fork in my wall? Well, of course that means it's the work of an ancient evil. She then tells him it's because of the ghosts that they never dated.
Now you're seeing ghosts everywhere and talking about that stupid clay thing. Jerry, this is exactly why things never worked out between us.
The next day, so now Julie finds a book about this ancient, rarely spoke of evil. He tries to get the idol to do something.
Look, you took this room apart. Put it back the way it was.
Look, buddy, we don't have it in the budget to do that.
That night, Jerry's making sweet, sweet love into the idol. He wakes up to see he has a penis nose. Roxanne goes to see Jerry. Then Jerry shoves her hand in the garbage disposal. Sandy stops to see her dad. She finds Jerry, who says her dad went to the hospital. She calls the hospital to find out he's not at the hospital. Jerry explains the idol has given him the power to peel his own skin off. Things Jerry always wanted Sandy to say, only in a different context.
Let me see it, Jack. Can I touch it?
Jerry then makes a blood offering to the idol. I guess his arm blood wasn't enough. The kids arrive at Sandy's father's house. They find Jerry, who attacks them. They run out to the street and try to get help.
Hey, buddy, you gonna stow your car down, let me in, because I'm a big fat guy and I can't go anywhere, because there's gonna be some poison gas. It's gonna be really poison gas. Everybody's gonna be dead, especially me. Oh!
Jerry confronts Julie. The guys go into the attic and find Sandy's dad dead. Sandy then takes the idol, which makes Jerry freak out. Oh no, he's angry dancing! They lock themselves in a closet. HD really highlights the good and the bad of these low-budget movies. For example, you can tell just how fake this door is. Speaking of, Jerry smashes through the paper-thin door. Oh boy, he's all messed up. He's having a hard time with his door. They smash the idol, which kills Jerry. Oh, it's like when you microwave a hot dog. So the two guys did nothing. Great job, you two. 3 years later, Julie's in college. Oh, this is Jump Scare Central. Ah, there it is. Seems Francis is still alive. He's tracked her down because of the idol. She wants nothing to do with it. She tells him to leave and... What? So now she's got the power, and it's not killing her, and it's never going to be explained, is it? The movie was shot mostly in California in 1983. It had a small theatrical release in early 1984 and was quickly put on home video. Susan Stokey played Sandy, and this was her first film. After this, she did a string of low-budget movies like Star Slammer, Deep Space, and The Tomb. In 1988, she left the industry, but recently started acting again in various shorts. The rest of the cast was mostly newcomers, with many of them having this as their only credit. Director Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey Obrow gained a good bit of attention with their debut horror film, The Dorm That Dripped Blood, in 1982. After The Power, they directed The Kindred in 1987. Carpenter went solo, but didn't direct another film until 2001 with the Carnival of Souls for Teens movie, Soul Survivors. The most successful person involved was composer Chris Young. He worked with the director duo on The House That Dripped Blood, and they brought him back for The Power. After this, he composed for Corman films like Wheels of Fire, before moving on to bigger productions like Hellraiser 1 and 2, Virtuosity, Species, Spider-Man 3, and Sinister. Just recently, he did the music for the Pet Sematary remake. He even did the music for one of my all-time favorite games, 2009's The Saboteur. The Power is part Scanners, part Amityville Horror, and part Exorcist, with a healthy side of low-budget cheese. It kind of shifts from character to character, and there's never really a consistent focus on the story we should follow. It's not that it's hard to follow, it's quite a simplistic story. It just makes these weird unexplained leaps that leave you wondering if there were some scenes that were cut. For example, in the beginning, Francis takes the idol from the professor as he dies. Then, it immediately shows him going to the desert to look at it. How did it get out there? Was this supposed to be happening in the past? How did Tommy's parents get the idol and not get taken over by its evil? The movie made it seem like adults were almost instantly drawn in by its allure, and only the innocents were safe. Were his parents Maud and Ned Flanders? When I was young, I remember seeing the cover in a video store. Say what you will about the movie, but this cover is awesome. Pray for them, they have unleashed the Fury! The Power's an entertaining horror movie that benefits from you not thinking about it too much. If you're in the mood to watch people making faces while standing in a room with a smoke machine, get yourself a copy of The Power.
I guess Des Staccato forgot to pay his electric bill, huh?